All right, beloved. So what type of wine you having?
All right. So you want to go ahead and get ready to toast up, and then we can go ahead on and get into our conversation.
Most definitely, beloved. I'm ready. Clear the air.
And it's open for whatever you want to converse about, wherever you want to go with this. I mean, it's the floor is open, so it's on you. We're just elated to have your presence. Go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone if you haven't already. I was busy sharing.
All right, beloved. Well, I am H.P.S, which is High Priestess Sybil, Empress Yamaya, and trust and believe all of that came with some trials, tribulations, as well as uh, portalways opening for me. Total portalways open for me. What is there to tell about me outside of just being one of those, I would say, women of authority that owns her own identity? Been an entrepreneur for a very, very long time before it became so popular. Decided to cross the water 12 years ago and establish myself as a global brand, fashion designer, model, teacher, speaker teacher, interior decorator. So it's kind of, I jumped on both sides. I have the company, or two companies, one that is create your own identity. And that's all of that physicality, everything that we want in the material world. And then our other company is In Divine Balance. And that's everything that's about the spiritual. So you can't have one without the other, beloveds. So that's just a little bit about me. So I offer the services on both sides. And mostly,
Relationship coach,
okay, coaching.
relationship coach, yoga instructor,
It's a lot of stuff.
model. She's a model.
It's a lot of stuff. After a while, you start really tapping into all of your gifts that you can't help but to expand. So I'm going to take you from the external to the internal, from the internal back to the external to give you that divine balance. Because it's something that I had to do for myself, and I've learned how to do that and share that particular wisdom with everyone else. So that's me. And then I'm the girl that's, I'm your girl. That's just what it is. I have to
Yes,
turn into
indeed.
that cat too now. Don't play. Good. All right, I'm ready. Oh, I likes that hat you got on. I'm peeping your hat. Oh, like it. Where you get your hat
Thank
from,
you.
baby? That hat is like, I'm liking that hat.
I'm still working with my sound over here. I don't know
Oh,
what's going on
okay.
with my sound.
Well, I saw somebody come in from New York. The NY said they were listening. I did see that.
Okay.
Well, well, I'm gonna wait for you too. I wanted to play my music, but uh, no, that's too far away right about now. Oh, and Eris does send her love. She's in
Okay,
Spain.
never mind.
Yes, she is in Spain, but she
Okay,
said
go ahead, Corey.
she
Yes.
sends her love. She sends her love.
Gratitude, gratitude. Reciprocate, please.
Ah, gratitude.
Oh, yeah, that's Rosalind. That's Rosalind McDonald. She's an author, well-renowned author as far as that goes. She's really great. She's out of the New York area.
Mm,
Yeah.
beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Can you guys hear me? Hold on, just 1 second. Let me mute this. Just Okay, say something now, Empress.
Yes, beloved. I'm here.
Okay. I don't know
Ready.
why. This is the
Am I still
first
low
time
here?
this. Okay. Okay, but they can hear you well, so.
But you need to
And
hear
they
me.
also said sound good.
But I can hear you quite well.
Okay, yeah. It's just you're just extremely low, but it's okay. Let's go for it. You want to
Extreme.
go ahead and yeah, want to go ahead and do the toast?
Yes, but you go ahead. I'm here with my glass. I'm ready.
Okay, well let me pour my well, you know I got to pour my ale up.
Yes, pour it. Let's see what you get. What you get. Let's see.
Okay. I'm gonna be having a Cook's, and this is a brute. It's a dry brute. Here it
Okay.
is, fam.
Okay.
Everyone, this is what I be pouring this bale up with.
Cool. Oof.
You know, that's how they give us at the restaurant a bale and charges $14.99. That's my bale, you all.
Ooh.
Okay. All right, Empress, you have to give the toast.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go ahead and give a nice little toast then. All right, beloved. So, as we are all gathered in this particular time and space, we create, where we also, in many realms, in many dimensions of time and space, may we rock with each other, having a glass of wine, breaking bread, wisdom throughout all time. I say Ashe to you, beloveds.
Shay.
Ashe. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Ching ching. I've already started, honey. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I got my fingerprints all over my glass. I've already started.
Yes. That's okay. We're
Ooh.
gonna get at it. We're gonna get into this grown folk conversation. Come on, lay it on us. Let's get at it.
Okay, so I know you be having those really good topics, pulling something out of the ether of us here. What about the relationship now with let's just say passion in relationships with men and women right about now, because there's such a um, what we call,
Divide.
yeah, it's a divine thing, but what's going on? Like, what's going
Yeah,
on
I
with the
know,
bumping
right?
heads here? I'm seeing so much since I've just crossed the water. Now I did see it over there, but now I'm up close and personal, and I'm just seeing the vibrations of us with each other.
Yes.
What's this about? What's this about? Why? I mean, there's no passion. I don't see no passion. People, it's like stale.
Okay.
It's kind of.
Okay. No passion.
I haven't seen any passion. Can somebody please tell me what's going on with passion between us? Not saying that there isn't any, yet when I see people, literally, I'm, they feel the vibration of the people, feel like they are operating from the root chakra just under the heart chakra. Okay, so most people would say,
Okay.
okay, well, the root chakra, this passion, this, but it's such a low vibration. Like, it's such a low vibration. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just have sex with this person, and that's it. You feel me? Like, it's so limited. People are and the conversation, and I'm saying it because I'm quite curious, because I've had people ask me certain things or say certain things around me that was just kind of like, that's all you want. Just you just having sex and that's it. If there's some people call that passion. I'm sorry, but this is just you just laying down with somebody. What you stirring? What you cooking? Yeah, what's that saying? They cook, let them cook, right? Let them cook. What are you
Yes.
cooking? What are you really cooking right now? when you make that exchange, that sexual exchange. What's going on? What's going on, Apostle? What's going on, people over here?
I know it is. It's crazy. It's crazy how relationships are just divided.
Okay.
Um, we're at each other's throats, and a lot of it it's it's through programming. I think it's a great deal of programming. What do you think?
Real
What do
quick.
you think about the programming, the cinematography, the audio works, and the images that they're giving us? What do you think about that?
Say it one more time. What did you say? When they
The pro Yes, the programming with
the program.
cinematography. And,
Well,
yes.
okay, from what I've seen, again, because I was watching while I was overseas, I mean in Spain. I was watching. Um, being here, okay. Woo, y'all y'all gonna have to forgive me because some of the stuff is just kind of like, what? What? Excuse me. Programming, I believe, definitely exists down to the core of even watching, as I said, just being observant and looking at how everybody looks the same, um, and are feeling the same based on what I've seen. Like I see a lot of our brothers all dressed alike, flip flops, socks, shorts. They're just like there. You know what I mean? And the women, of
Mhm.
course, are in their little dresses or, you know, everybody just seems like they just there. They're not like exuding any uniqueness or originality, or they just, okay, she looked like that, I'm gonna look like that too. He looked like, everybody looks the same. And then you put on the vibration, this energy that they're carrying with them. And I'm just, come on, y'all, what's going on? So programming taking place, yeah, okay. The music, I don't really listen too much to the music. However, clearly there's some type of, I see that, cookie cutter. Okay, I see that. Definitely, but the vibration, I'm just like, wait a minute, what happened? What really happened? So programming is, if that's it, then it's definitely working. It's working. I've never seen so many people look so similar and then carry some of the same energy. And they really do not look alike, but they're dressing alike. They're carrying that energy, the same type of energy. And it's like, okay, clearly I'm gonna move around a little bit while I'm over here, so I can just see, okay, how's Chi-Town looking? How's Atlanta looking? Because ooh wee, I no,
Right. Well, yeah. You get the programming. You have to take a minute and look at it again through cinema photography and through imaging.
mm,
What they've done is they have created this prototype, and both the male and females are put
mm, mm,
to look like what is being fed them, right? For example, if you look at
mm, mm,
it happens, it's happening with the men and the women. But if you look at the women, they're all trying to look like the Barbie dolls. They look like little Barbie dolls. They're
mm,
all dolled up,
mm,
with the makeup and
mm,
the whole shebang. You
mm,
know what I mean? And so they start fads with purses. Well, I want this kind of purse, or I'm going to wear these kind of nails.
mm,
When you know, so they create all of this kind of subculture, and
okay.
they move with that. And the same thing with the males, with the sagging of the pants, with the cocking of the hat. You know what I'm saying? With the various paraphernalia that they wear, with the belts,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and different types of things of that nature. But that's through programming.
mm,
It's what's being fed them. And
mm,
to your point,
mm.
yeah, what's actually happening is that they're just merely existing.
Yes,
They're
they
not
are.
living. They are existing.
Okay.
And that's a difference,
Yeah.
right? Because, yes, indeed. So when you're living things under you, when you are existing, you're not understanding the dynamics of how things are really supposed to work,
Yes.
right?
Right. This
So,
part.
yeah, so this is kind of what you're getting into. Yeah, I know this. Facebook is doing this. This is in terms of the
The sound.
they can see you well, but my picture is distorted. So
Yes.
you see,
Yours is going back and forth, but I still see you. I think we still see you.
let me see
Okay.
something.
So the exist. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you well.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So the existence. So that's the feeling that I'm getting right now. It's a very stagnated type of vibration is what I'm picking up on. Everything is just very
Yes.
stagnated. And okay, I can see how people might want to duplicate as who said that on there? Cookie cutter. They're trying to just basically go about looking the same way. To me, it just strikes me as people don't have an identity. That's the other thing. People really don't
Yes.
have their own identity, their own unique identity. Um, it's kind of like, so what that a person wants to wear their clothes this way, or you know, she's wearing her hair this way. To me, it's still a vibrational energy. What are you carrying? What is your uniqueness with that? Your identity. So, okay, programming. So how do we present a better, dynamic? Because it looks like it. I mean, from what I've seen, it looks like it's the youth, the young, the ones that are much younger than us. Now, not to say necessarily that our age group is not being on point with certain things that they're doing, or how they're acting. I mean, because I just bear witness to women twerking and all that other stuff around their children for a child's party. That it's just, how do we touch those
No,
people?
I just think that you're absolutely
Mm,
well. Again, it's you to change the programs.
mm,
You have to be able to. You have to get to their enneagram. The enneagramming is what dictates to the programming.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
Thoughts is where your frequencies are. That's
mhm,
where your pineal, your pituitary,
mhm.
your medulla oblongata, your cerebellum. All of these things work in concert
I like that.
to create a level of consciousness that produces the level for us to understand the vibration, to understand the frequency.
Mm, mm,
So if we don't tap back into that, because when you look into antiquity, this is what they were utilizing. When you look at Horus, when
mm,
you look at all of the images that they've given us, those are depictions of how our brain works.
mhm,
And a lot of those pictures are direct images of things that are in our brain.
mm, mm,
So this is why they put it in stone. They put it in stone so that we would never be able to fail to recall what it is, right? So
mm.
that at some point we would have to return back to it with a level of articulation. If
Right.
if we tell you was talking about the cookie cutter, if we go to the cookie cutter, you go to a Greek word called prototokos. Prototokos is where we get our word prototype,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
But prototokos also means like a cookie. Everything that comes out is exactly like it. It is a duplicate and not an imitation. So
Okay.
what you have a lot of imitations that are running around and not duplications, because imitation is some level of reality.
Mm,
You're
mm,
not dealing with, we're dealing with our young people they're not dealing with a level of reality that we deal each and every day. So
Okay.
that's kind of some of what that is as well. But your timeline is filling up. Let me get some of these for you.
Yes, I've seen
Um,
Rosalind, Octavia. They're definitely. I've lost them, but they definitely were making valid points. Okay.
yeah, can you see them?
When it came to, I gotta come back and see if I can find it again. I think it was Octavia.
Okay, I'll read it out for you.
Rosalind said something about
Okay.
Rosalind said something about the people have lost their identities because of shoot. It keeps dropping off.
Yeah, it's good.
Because
Yes.
they've become followers and have forgotten the value of being leaders. Ashe, that's it right there. It is not only the youth. Exactly. Okay. So the elders have started to become followers and have insecurities. All right, Rosalind, most definitely. That's the okay, that's one
Well,
aspect.
but with that, to that point though, Empress,
Mm,
when you talk about elders that are doing that, then that suggests that the programming is working,
most
right?
definitely. Right.
Because yes, because 80% are in full media.
Yes.
80% of the people. So, okay, if your information is coming from the media, then that's
Mm-hmm.
go ahead down to your time.
Yeah. I with us saying that, I just thought about a valid point. Okay, mm, how do we get this side, or let's just say us melanated indigenous people, to start to think outside of the box? If they're listening to programming, I believe one of the biggest things is we need to travel. We need to go outside of a particular location. Okay. So some people will say, oh, well, I don't have money to travel. But we need to really travel, because nowadays, okay, you can go online, you can do all this, you can travel via someone else. How do we turn the corner with that? Because, okay, the biggest thing that I've spoke about, even when I was here speaking and teaching the youth, um, it was go outside, even when it wasn't popular. So basically, go outside your neighborhood, go to the next city, blah blah blah, or jump across the water. Go outside of the normal boxed in area. Now, again, some people will say they don't have money to do that. Well, try doing that online. Try going, look at a travel channel. How many of us actually believe within ourselves that also we start to emulate that particular thing that we believe, that it transcends and passes to the youth or whoever is around us? Because how else are we going, or I should say, as a collective group, are we going to be able to move the navigation or change the narration of the programming if we don't start being the actual thing that we know we should be for each other, even? You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree. I agree. Through example,
Okay.
because why? We tend to retain more of what we see than what we hear. But
Mm,
however, there are times that the articulation
mm,
can be can become so vivid
mm,
that you can articulate so well word pictures in the minds of the people that
mm,
can actually see the expression. And what we've lost is the level of articulation
mm,
that changed the audible mechanism in our ears that speaks to our brain,
mm.
right?
Okay.
So I think that at some point, get back to communicating. And I think Queen Octavia mentioned on here that I think it has become such a commonplace for people to link up versus having a real relationship. Relationships are based off of communications.
Are different.
Whether it be through physiognomy or physically, you exchange by just body movement, body language, or if it be nonverbal or verbal. So we got to get back to these levels of communication.
Okay.
We've stopped communicating. You know what I mean?
Yes, I get that.
Yeah, it's time to toast.
Okay. Ching ching, babe. Yeah, ching ching. Ching ching.
Salute, salute, salute.
The roles that we all play in that. So what should the women do? I'm asking the ladies in the chat, actually.
Yeah, go ahead. They're gonna chat it up with you.
So what should the women do? What should we be doing as women? I know we already supposed to be the example, but what type of example are we meant to be? Because we're all carving out that uniqueness. Tell me, ladies. I mean, seriously, I'm looking at doing some speaking engagements as well. And I really want to hear from the people. I just want to get a group of women and men and just like, okay, let's check this out. So this is a perfect platform. Let's check this out. What we need to be doing. Actually, that I'm really curious about that. Being the example.
Okay, Rosalind. Here's what Rosalind says. Also, let me give her a plug right here at this juncture. Hopefully, y'all can see this because I don't know what Facebook is doing because it's clear on my side.
Yeah,
but she has
blurry a little, but we see it.
Settings out.
Uh-huh.
Oceans of Thoughts. She has three. It's a compilation of three, and then she has a children's book out as so she accomplished author. And here's what she says. She says, to your point, they have become materialistic and let the ways material control them. So she is saying that they've become more materialistic. What do you think about that, Empress?
Yeah. Yes, that definitely. Yeah, it's kind of. They place so much value in the actual material thing than themselves. Yeah, we were raised in the time frame that we had to we were the thing. Oftentimes, I remember in the fashion industry, because I do come from that world, imagery and fashion. I was teaching the young ladies that you are actually making the item. You are the walking brand. You just absolutely start to when you put a brand on you, you're making that brand because you're actually wearing that. I can see how that has been supersized now. It's been so supersized in the fact that you've now, and I won't even say youth, let me just go across the board. Generally, people are putting things on and thinking that makes them great because other people are giving validation to that. I mean, it's not just here in America, okay? In Spain, Europe, hello. These people are wearing these things, and that's a social bracket. People automatically feel like you're in a social bracket. Where I come in with what I do, or better yet, how I operate. Me personally, I don't care what label you have on, because you vibrate the clothes, you help them come alive. Or outside of that, they would be on a clothing rack. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. They're going to be on a rack. But I can see how people across the world are identifying themselves with a label. And the label houses, of course, are doing their job. They're doing their job. They're selling you clothes. And it's up to you.
They're marketing.
Yes, it's up to you, as well as whomever else you may buy clothes for, to enter and understand that these things are, of course you want to have luxury, something that looks nice, but what is luxury to people? Most people believe that luxury has to have a name brand on it, when that's a complete misnomer. It's the concept of that is completely off. You are housing that
Yes.
energy. So
Yes.
the campaigns, yeah, I have seen the campaigns on both sides across the water. I'm just asking that one valid question. The people such as ourselves and the people in the chat, the family in the chat, how we gonna stand out? How we gonna, move the needle? And I mean it within our circle, because it's not, you know what I mean? It's not for us to go out and say, okay, we're gonna take on the whole world and handle it. No, people gotta learn at their own pace. They gotta do it, when they're ready to do that. But in your circle, the women in those hub circles, what is it, or the 3 or 4 things that you can think of that actually gets the attention of these women around you outside of a label?
Okay, Octavia's on YouTube now. She says, as women, we have to see something and say something. However, these people are so rude, disrespectful, and fragile, it's hard to navigate.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And the teacher will appear, the master teacher says, we see more trust gaps, economics, financial stress, and misinformation that erodes common ground of communications. People can mask real communication by texting, sending emojis, etc.
Fire.
Emotional,
Fire.
yes, he says emotional overload in a world. Go ahead, ring that bell.
No, seriously, fire. She hit that one. That was
Yes,
fire. Yes, absolutely.
yeah. Let me. I'll read it again, and we're gonna toast to that one. We see more trust gaps, economic, financial stress that erodes our common ground of communications. People can mask real communications by texting, sending emojis, emotional overload. In a world of constant crises, wars, climate, anxiety, inequity, many people protect themselves by withdrawing or numbing.
Ching Ching. She did that one.
Yeah.
She did
Now,
that
that
one.
was the master teacher right there. That
Oh,
was the
master
master teacher.
teacher.
Octavia was before him. Yeah, before her. That was the master
Ching
teacher, and
Ching.
before the master teacher. And I read this again too. As women, we have to think and say something. However, these people are so rude, disrespectful, and fragile, it's hard to navigate.
Mm, mm. And where's she
Those
at?
are
Where's
powerful. Right? We got
Ching Ching? Where's she at?
salute.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta.
Oh, she's
Atlanta.
in Atlanta. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Spot on. Definitely spot on. That's teacher as well. Spot on. That's it. Okay.
He also went on to say, people are experiencing more connections through screens,
Mm,
face, actions.
mm,
Physical presence has been diluted and replaced by messaging conversations. Relationships feel like a luxury instead of a viable connection programming.
So then it goes back to perfect. So then it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Why, like, where's the passion? Because you literally
Right.
can walk and be in front of
Yes.
somebody, and it's just so dry. I'm just like, oh my God, like, really? Come on, y'all. Like, go outside. And now I'm looking at that more from the presence of go outside yourself. Like, step outside yourself and look back at yourself and see how you really vibrating right now. to the
Right.
valid point that of the emotional parts. You know, we are losing the emotional, that suave part, because we are communicating more often through text. Very valid point. Very valid point. And people do hide there. You know, they they do. They hide a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
They hide a
Yes.
lot.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. I always say you can be anything you want to be on the internet. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Uh,
That
and
is
you
so
have to
good.
deal with that.
That is so good. I remember often times I've run into people who be like, oh my God, if they would see me in person and go, oh my God, you're actually look like that, or you're actually like that, because they've been watching me from a distance, and they come up and they're like, oh, and I'm thinking, and Eris is with me, and I'm going, what is that? And she's like, Mom, yeah, people catfish. You know, people are really not, and you're showing people who you really are. This is just who it is. You know, this is how. If you see me, I'm still gonna look like this. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I don't care how y'all
Absolutely.
dressing, what y'all doing. I'm gonna be like this, no matter what. So,
Yes, indeed.
but that's the ownership of totality. So I know I told you some time ago that I had written manuals because I used to. You know, teach etiquette, social consciousness, global interaction, to a lot of Fortune 500 ladies' children, their daughters, and, you know, this sort of thing. So I wrote a manual, of course, for the inside as well as the exterior. And I was like, you know what? I took it overseas to Spain. They tried to copy it. I guess that just shows how good it is. Anyway, I started just recently refining it, like really going. Before I would teach people how to do monologues. Not like that's not still good, because I believe the youth and all of us could level up our game of communication. And in this day and time, that's what's happening, because you have AI, you have all these things that can write these things for you. However, I would teach monologues, you know, and people how to articulate and, you know, present and all this other stuff. What I found myself doing now is actually implementing more of like my own preference dialogues or monologues that have to do with self. You feel me? Like making people
Hmm.
speak about themselves, articulate more about
Yeah.
themselves, and how dynamic that can be when someone has to sit in front of a mirror and speak about themselves to themselves. It's it's shadow working. You know what I mean? It is that shadow work. It is that breaking down,
Absolutely.
tearing away.
Absolutely.
But we use that as
Yeah. You.
tell me.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. You to really protect your information. Some of my information that was being taught over in Europe,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that they're coming your presence, you know, information and from it, but they're not going to get it for it.
Oh, it's breaking up.
But I mean, grateful. So there are people. Can you hear me now?
Yes, better.
I can hear you real well.
Okay, great. Good. Go, go, go. I hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They was using some of my information for a curriculum in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
exactly what it is that you're talking about. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they'll get your information and they won't give you credit for it.
Oh, that part. That part is so true.
You know, yeah, so you really got to be careful with how you disseminate your information. And that's why I'm very careful with my book,
Mm,
because it's important that, see, the reason why I'm writing the book the way that I'm writing my book and it's solution driven is
mm,
that
mm-hmm,
it's going to work a different area in your brain.
mm, 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 mm-hmm.
See, what what AI is doing is taking information out of your brain.
Most definitely.
But what
Mm-hmm.
I replenish your brain. I'm going to turn on dendrites that you never listed, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're only using 10% of your brain
That part.
because that's all our European counterparts for educational purposes only. That's all our European counterparts ever used was 10%.
Mm.
So there's another 90%, which are the dendrites, which are elements in our brain that feeds the neurons and everything else in our brain that causes the whole brain to turn on, to cause us to become whole brained.
Okay.
So what we're dealing with now is turning the entire brain on,
Mm-hmm.
and we call that hemisyncing.
So we have to
We
get out
call
of
that
the lower state.
hemisyncing.
Okay, so we have to get
Yes,
out of the lower state of our bodies. We have to move
yes.
past that channel. Okay. So your book is going.
Listen, this is let me read something real quick, and I'm gonna let you go for it, Empress. Listen to this. The most productive thing anyone can do is think. You know who wrote that?
Who? You?
Anybody who wrote that? I'll read it again for you.
Who?
The most productive thing anyone can do is think.
No, I have no idea.
Let me see if anyone on the timeline knows. I'll put it on the timeline for you just in case you don't know. I'll put it out there.
Hmm. Hmm. So
The
still.
most productive thing anyone can do is think. And this is what we're talking about tonight. We're really actually getting into that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a quote that I wrote many years ago. It's called "The most productive thing anyone can do is think." I wrote it.
I said you wrote it too. I said you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it was you. No, but seriously, yes, most definitely the most productive. However, okay, now let me go into a little part of that part. The most productive thing we can do
Okay.
is think, yet and still we have
Yes.
to be able to hold those thoughts and properly dissect those thoughts that we're thinking about. Case in point,
Yes.
uh, thinking, because a lot of people they think, but the how they're thinking is the biggest thing, because from based on your perspective, you could be thinking completely wrong about a situation that me and you observe. You know what I mean? Because it's based on the
Correct.
person that's in front of how they perceive a situation. Okay, a cat went across the road. Okay, somebody went, no, it ran. Another person said, no, it strolled. It's the perception of the person who's thinking. Now, how do you use that as a tool? That comes
Okay.
through meditation. That's what I would think, where you would
Yes.
be
Okay.
able to sit with your thoughts and operate through those thoughts. How do we use that?
Yeah.
Tell me, Apostle. Go and tell me
Right.
how
I,
we gonna work
I
through
know.
that.
Right. Through research, what we found out is
Mm,
that the majority of the people, again, at least 80% of the people, have no idea why here, nor what their purpose is,
okay, there you go.
nor where they're going. 80% of the people, right? So, what that tells us is that they're not thinking for themselves. What is actually happening is they're using what we refer to in sociology, physics, and psychology as suggestive thinking.
mm, mm,
In
mm,
other words, the
mm,
people are being marketed in such a way
mm,
that that terms and images are being what we refer to as hyperbolized
mm,
into their minds
mm.
and causing them to think the way that someone or something want them to think, right?
Okay, okay. Yes.
When you look at the word parable, right? For example, the word parable, um, people say, well, it's a parable. But when you look at the word parable, it is actually a Greek word where
Mm-hmm.
we actually get our word hyperbolo from. We
Okay.
also get another word paraboleo from, or parabolo.
Mm-hmm.
But what it actually means is to take and throw words into someone's mind,
Mm,
right? That is the purpose of a parable, is to throw words into your mind and cause you to think.
mm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is
Suggest
what's
most of
happening to, yes, this is
mm,
what's happening to the people. So if you misinform them and disinform them,
mm,
then you've done them what? An injustice.
mm, mm,
But it would be okay if you were informing them properly, which will give them the ability to gauge and gain control over their own thought processes.
mm-hmm. Mm.
That now that's something altogether different.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I see that. I can see that. Most definitely. Okay. Now, how do
Yeah.
we, and now the dissemination of those particular things. So we're in a community. I would love to hear from the tribe on this. Seriously, going back to the women that I saw, Octavia and Rosalind, because that's the only ones I saw. Maybe somebody else was on there. Um,
Yeah, Priestess Lavelle is in the house too. I think if she
so with that being
Priestess, you
said,
are, I don't know if Tracy is still in the house. Tracy Love was in the house. If y'all are still in the house and y'all with us, we're one on the timeline.
I'm
I beat
quite,
you all. Put a one on the timeline if you're still in the house.
quite curious about, quite curious. Okay, so how has was it Rosalind or Octavia that made mention to the people are kind of rude and not
It was
cordial?
Octavia.
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 Octavia, if you're still there, how have you dealt with that? What have you had to do, or what have you seen being done to move past that or around it to still do or present what it is that you choose to present? That's really interesting. I mean,
Okay.
I really would like to
They
know
found it up.
how.
Look, let me get to, I'll tell you, talking about laugh out loud. I knew it was you. Um, she said you just took the words out of her mouth, but she says a non-thinker is easier to control. That's Octavia.
Ashe, Ashe, yeah, uh-huh, 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 uh-huh. Okay, okay. Wow. Present to self. So being present to self, thinking for self, allows a different narrative to be displayed. To be displayed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so now the vibration, because I started with the question, remember I was like, okay, so where's the passion in the people, that sort of thing. Okay, all of this is encompassed in one big ball then. So because people are not creating their own identity, they're being fed their identity, they're adapting to that identity and then displaying it out, i.e. not thinking for themselves. We have a constant, what is it, flow of the same type of energy of people, regardless of it being them being looking different, but their vibration is all attaching to the same type of rhetoric or way of thinking or flow of being, this sort of thing. I mean, because my the socio, like, the feel of the people is so dry. Like, I really, it's like, wow, I see why. Even before I came came back, people were coming to, Europe and from America, and they were like, oh my God, I gotta get out. I gotta get out. I had to get out. And they're like, oh my God, how long have you been out? I mean, it's like a movie, the Get Out movie. You know what I mean? It was, I gotta get out. I gotta get out. And I'm like, okay, I can see certain things. But now I'm in the field, and you literally feel the vibration, the energy of the people. My deal, and I had asked them, I said, well, so you're getting out, so you telling your family, and there's such a stronghold. Okay, so these people were saying to me, no, I told my friend, or, my mom, or so and so, and they basically were saying I was crazy, which is the same thing was said to me 12 years ago. You crazy, why you going out, this sort of thing. So, and still in this day and time, that type of response is being said to people who are just now, leaving out. No, they said I'm crazy. No, they don't want to leave. No. So there's such a stronghold spiritually that I believe there's a lot more than just the physical application we have to do, but spiritually we have to start making decrees. A lot of people do a lot of praying, which is okay, that's fine. But after you pray for that thing, you actually should be grateful for that thing. But the other part of that is you need to be making decrees. And I'm saying this especially when it comes to the women that are on the timeline because of what you just said, or how you responded to our back and forth. Um, there's a decree mantle on the divine feminine right now because she's being elevated to such a high regard. And most are using it in more of a Jezebel spirit than actually using it in the divine essence of Mayat. So there's a decreeing that for the wonder wound needs to actually take place. So I would ask the women in the timeline to do some decorations, like seriously, over the areas that you vibrate with or around, and allow source for that. I just feel led to really say that to the women, that I really make a decree and decoration for the liberation of the people that you are around and embody. You know what I mean? And just allow source, just keep watering it regardless. It's not like you have to go jump in, or down the rabbit hole with people, but at least use your particular side of wisdom as a wonder woman in this time and in this season, preferably around the times that everybody's celebrating. You feel me? Even if you don't celebrate that holiday, this sort of thing, this is how I use my wisdom, my divine feminine. You also, when people are celebrating, because that's collective conscious, you throw in the wisdom that needs to be planted in that open portal. So I just wanted to speak to the ladies on that one. And definitely with the men, it's the covering of that aspect, cover that woman in that. However, for the women in the timeline, please do that, because, oh my goodness, it's just like the vibration is so dead. It's so dead.
Yeah. Octavia says on YouTube, I still say what needs to be said. I have to give my compliments, then add a bit of reflection. Then I ask them for advice and end with a hug.
Ashe. Uh, Now, so Octavia, I'm sure you received everything that I just said. The depth of that now is I need to know how she feels after she's done that. After she's, had that speech, da da da, and then she hugs him. How do you feel about that? That I'm really curious about that because whew, child. Mm.
I think she'll probably post in a minute.
Okay, no problem. But I felt led to
Yeah.
say that because it's I mean it is. It's the women are the wounds,
Yeah.
right? So she gotta speak, she gotta stand, she gotta be even in the midst, the protection.
She said she feels awesome.
She felt you feel good?
Yeah. She said it feels awesome.
Good, good, good. Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice, mama.
All right.
Nice.
So
Woo.
yes, indeed. So we on this last leg of this, so we're gonna get ready to wrap it up. We've been
Yes, love.
hanging out. So we're gonna let you have the last words, and then I'll close us out.
Well, well, I know what. That was some of that. I can't do anything but re-emphasize the fact that we have the power to create our own identity, lifestyle that services our highest good, as well as impacts those that we love to do the same. And in essence of that, we just want to give all divine gratitude to the liberation, first of ourselves, the souls, the soul tribe that we have, those that we know that are coming, because everybody learned in their own time and space. And then for the liberation of our ancestors that continue to resonate in us, through us, around us, to us, for us, and by us. We are them. So there's no need to be like, oh, so our ancestors, because so many people are hanging it up on the ancestors. The ancestors looking back at you like, excuse me, it's what you gonna do with that. So handle it, move through it, operate it, kings, queens. You know what I say? It's those nectaroos,
Yes,
those divine
indeed. Yes.
empresses, emperors. Let's just walk
Yes.
in that pace of just being that particular light. But when we see something, we need to go ahead and call it down. Call it down means bringing it down, tapping it back down into the earth. Yeah. Speaking a decree over it, planting a new seed, remembering that you are a garden and those that are external of you are gardens too. So every garden must be tooled, plowed, nurtured, watered, fertilized, a constant rebirthing as every day that we wake up. I say ashe to you, Wind Down Wednesday Soul Tribe and Nations. Ashe to you, the one. And I'll turn it back to you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me. Seriously.
Yes. Hold on just a second, Empress, because Octavia answered you again. She says she feels awesome. And she said, it feels like I saved a life, broke a curse, helped out my fellow queen,
Mm-hmm.
fix her crown. She said
Mm-hmm.
she felt like she helped a fellow queen fix her crown.
That's it, Mama. That is beautiful. And make sure that I want to speak a word of just continuous edification and most definitely expansion to your divine divinity, my love. And may you be surrounded. That which you give out, may it return to you 100-fold. But in the areas of your expansion, because you already know what you know and you operating in that now. Now it's time for you for the next level. So may God, the divine source, send that which is required of your life purpose and path. I say to you, divine, I appreciate you.
She says, thank you.
Oh, most definitely.
All
Oh,
right. Last divine toast.
toast, toast to you.
So,
Salute. Mm. He finished y'all's off.
yeah,
You'll get mad.
I had to finish them on off. Listen, as always, always, Empress, it
Thank you.
is a pleasure and an honor to hear your articulation, your deliverance,
Thank you, boo.
um, your grace that you shed upon us. It is amazing and it is awesome.
Thank
And
you.
we just want to say gratitude, gratitude, gratitude.
Gratitude. Peace,
And
love.
yes, and hopefully we get a chance to do this again before you get out to States.
Yes, most
So,
definitely. That would be beautiful.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You already know you have open invitation, so you don't have to worry about that. So just let me know when a Wednesday before you get up out of here. We can get back at it again.
Salute,
Because this is
Yamoja,
lethal.
Priestess. Salute. Most
Yes,
definitely, beloved. Thank you so much, beloveds. Have a wonderful
yes,
evening. Yeah. Ciao for now.
yes, yes. Now I'll contact you.
Yes, beloved.
Um, um, fam, y'all know how it is. It's time for us to get up out of here. Listen, as always, do what?
Mm, mm,
Hold what you got.
mm,
Muse over it, cogitate upon it, ponder on it,
mm.
meditate upon it. But what? By all means, do what? Govern yourselves accordingly.
Ashe.
One love,
One love.
eternal life,
Ciao.
peace,
Peace, peace.
power, prosperity, and in the words of the Prince of Peace, excellent health. All right. Gratitude for our very special guest, Empress Yamaya Faye.
Love you, Apostle.
Gratitude.
And JPL, Master Teacher, you as well. Ciao, beloveds. So love it. Love it, love it.